So if your wife says that freshwater pump is really getting noisy, you should probably listen to her and check it out. Right, dear?
I did.
He did. And now we'll take you down that road. Hello, faithful people. I'm Orlene, and Gary is finishing up on the installation of the new water pump. So this is the bay that is underneath the bench seat. That's the one bench seat, and then it opens on the other side too, and that's how we can get things in and out on either way. This is the old water pump, and it's been making a lot of noise lately, and more so than normal, I think. And so I just mentioned that to Gary, and he started looking at things, and there's a crack in it.
Actually, I think it's a seal that finally worked loose.
There's a crack in the seal?
Yeah, I can show you when I get it out.
Okay, so we bought a new pump. The water that was leaking out was going out the spout, most of it. It is a little damp here on the floor here, but hopefully no damage anyway. And so now he's got it hooked up, so the water is leaking out here, out this tube, and it's going on the ground. What a mess. Okay, people have asked us, why did you want a freestanding table? Well, this is part of the reason, so that we can get in here easier to work on things. This bench seat actually can come off too, and he could go in that way, but here's his workspace. That's the pump, and he thinks that it is a crack in the what?
I think the seal is leaking on the bottom of the pump.
Okay, he thinks the seal is leaking on the bottom of the pump, and that would be right there. But we got a new pump, and it's the same brand and everything. We're hoping it's going to work. This is a section that is behind Gary's side of the dinette. We have done lots of videos from this, if you remember that plant there and everything. And there's a shelf that goes in here. These slats lay down, and then there's a shelf that goes across this whole thing, and that we use that for storage for all kinds of stuff. So it makes it a little more accessible. This big white thing here is our freshwater tank, and that goes all the way across here, underneath the drawers and underneath the sink. We still don't know how big it is. This is the new pump. It's called SureFlow. And it was around about $100, 80 something, at Camping World. We needed something fast. Gary took the seat off, and then there's a panel that goes over that. He took all that off so that he could have better access. The one thing about RVs is they don't make anything easy to get to. No. Looks like the same thing. That's good. So what part is cracked on the old one?
It started coming out from where this is sealed here.
Oh,
so
wow.
Probably take the old one off and put a new seal in it, but it would still be noisy, and hopefully this is a quieter one.
Yes, that would be good, because the other one...
I was ordered.
I just kept saying it's been so noisy. It just sounds like it's going to vibrate right out of the thing, and so we thought maybe it was just loose, but
Well, part of it's the way it's mounted, yeah. But you can only do so much. With the space allowed. And let's mount a little further away.
you're gonna mount it farther away. Is there a reason for that?
It's further away from the wall. So I have to be able to get this hose to it. You want to hold this up?
Okay. So there's always got to be a glitch. The old pump was closer to the wall. The new pump,
The fittings were closer to the wall.
the fittings were closer to the wall, okay? And the new pump,
I can do it, but I have to adjust.
and what do you have to adjust? The
I
hose?
have to make the bottom hose longer.
Longer. Oh dear.
Yeah. And hopefully it'll... Yeah. So if I can make it a little bit longer, then I can get this one up just a bit, unless I can get it to angle more. Maybe I can do that.
Can you put it on an angle? Would that hurt anything to be on an angle?
No, as long as it doesn't... See, I don't want to bend the other tubing too much either, because it's going to be vibrating and all that.
Mm-hmm.
If I could... So I could really do it like that. Come on. Start. Thank you. Okay. So that's what I have to do, like that.
This is why you pay so much for labor if you have an RV dealership take care of these things. If you try to fix them yourself,
You don't get paid for it.
you don't get paid for it. No, but it's hard. It's hard to do. I don't know why that's there. Do we know why that's there?
Paid
That
cardboard?
cardboard, yeah.
In case we need to start a fire.
Oh,
A legal fire, not
a legal fire. Okay. Legal fires are good. Okay. Feel like a surgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see where it's been leaking, spraying out from here. So theoretically you could take this apart, put a new seal in there, and then it's still usable, it still works. This part is much closer to the wall, the other one is out about here. So when it comes out, it hits the tank. So I'm not sure I'm doing the best job here. We're not taking the tank out.
No. The thing Gary's trying to avoid is that we don't want the hose and the connection to hit against the freshwater tank when we're going down the road. There's a lot of vibration and a lot of bouncing and bumping around, and so we don't want to have that hitting that. Might have to put some foam or something underneath it maybe, huh? To cushion it if we need to. So he's putting this on more of an angle, which is not going to work.
Won't let me go any higher. Gotta see if I got some more of that tubing. Where would I have tubing? I'm not sure.
So Gary's connecting the wires with the new one now, and he thinks that it's going to be okay.
I think so. Your satisfaction guaranteed.
Uh-huh. Well, so far, things you've done have worked well with the problems you've run into. You've been able to figure out solutions. So far, that worked. At least as far as I know.
Okay.
Is there something you're not telling me?
No. Is that too quick?
That was very quick, yeah. Good thing we do a lot of walking. That's hard on the knees. The walking isn't. The not using them is hard on the knees, and bending like that's got to be kind of difficult. This is the old floor that we had before we took out the carpeting and before we put in this vinyl click and lock flooring. That video has over 8,000 views now.
Gangbusters.
Yeah. And everyone has said how much help it was, and how it was a good video. So if you're going to be putting the click and lock vinyl plank floor in, make sure to check that one out. I'll put a link for it up above.
It's the floor that made Rodney famous.
Yes. Our friend Rodney helped us do it.
Blessing.
Where do you want me to cut?
Right there. You're a winner. Oh. Oh, this is just a little Teflon tape. And hopefully it'll keep it from dripping. Help to keep it from dripping.
Oh. It's not going to stick.
Well, it doesn't stick. It just goes on the threads.
Kind of like a putty almost. A
Yeah, it's
thin
just
putty.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. I'm really curious to see what difference it makes. I just thought of something.
You did?
You got to put the old one back on.
No.
Yeah, because I never demonstrated on how loud it was.
That's too bad. That was really, really sad. I think I can get it from here. No, I can't see it.
Can't see it. Gotta go back in. I guess if you ever get tired of doing the ministry, you could be a surgeon or a mechanic.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we'll just fix up messed up RVs and settle for that. All right. Now,
I'm gonna turn the pump on, give it a trial run. Ooh, it hums.
well, that's because there's no water running through it yet.
Oh. Got the faucet on. Just waiting for water to come through. Here it comes. I can hear it. Oh my gosh. I don't hear the pump at all. Oh my gosh.
Much quieter.
Oh my gosh. Way quieter than our old one. We've been putting up with that for so long.
Well, it worked.
It worked and it wasn't leaking, so we kept it. But oh my gosh. This is going to be nice. So now because it worked, Gary's going to finish screwing it in at this goofy angle. The way they make RVs, gosh, they make them from the wall out or wall inward, I guess. This thing here, this should have been maybe sliding doors or something instead of a solid piece that's glued on. This is interesting. Our Jayco fifth wheel is a 2000, and it says on this pump manufactured 4 in 01. So do we have a 2000 or do we have a 2001? Everything we have says that it's a 2000. Huh. And they wouldn't have replaced a pump within a year, but needless to say, this obviously needed to be replaced. It's and this only had 3 screws holding it in, so Gary is trying to find a 4th screw to hold the new one in. Gary has it resting on a sponge for now. What are you going to do different?
Now?
No, different.
Oh, I don't
Later.
know. Later.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe nothing.
But now the four screws should hold it in place better. That's good. So we put the wood slats back in all the way across. There's the new pump. And now this just drops down. And that's our storage behind the one seat. These grippy things are really good for keeping things from moving around and sliding around. And we also got a new one of these. This is what goes above the oven, the stove, on the outside. The part that's broken on the one we have is just this part here. But you had to buy the whole unit. You couldn't just buy just this panel. You had to buy the whole unit to replace it. This is the old vent. And this is the part that's cracked. Just that one piece. So it's been held on with those little doohickey things there. And when I use the fan inside when I'm cooking, this has to be opened up. And that's closed when you're traveling. So this is, whoops. This goes up here. This is the fan above the stove, and Gary is replacing the old, taking off the old one with the crack on it, and he's put on the new one already. That's the flap for it. So if we don't have that flap on, that's open.
That's the inside flap.
Yep. And then it's just the fan here and just this that's keeping bugs and stuff out. And you can see this is pretty porous. So we'd have bugs coming in if we didn't have that flap up there. But why you have to go outside to open it is the really dumb part. There's got to be an easier way. But that's how this is set up. You have to go outside, open it up to be able to use the fan. Yep. So don't cook when it's raining.